It's Shawn Lamb here for Streaming Media Producer at NAB 2018. I'm here with Dan from BirdDog, and we're here to talk about NDI and some of the products that you have. So let's start off here. NDI was a protocol developed by Newtek. They unleashed it on the world, and you guys are one of the adopters. What is it in a nutshell? What is NDI?
Yeah, so NDI is a method of sending video and audio as well as other information over a standard computer network. There's a lot of talk about IP these days, but really the hard part with that is trying to get that video in a practical way. NDI has solved that by being able to use a gigabit Ethernet connection, pardon me, which means that you can run on a standard network in any building basically in the world and move video around very easily, and multiple channels. Some buildings have thousands of NDI sources in them. So it's a really simple way of getting things around.
It avoids some of the limitations like SDI and HDMI, especially HDMI with cable length limitations and having to invest in that copper type of transmission.
Well, that's right, and having in a video environment, if you're investing in all these core pieces of equipment like DAs and routers and things like this, when you go to IP, essentially your network switch is doing all that work for you. So the plant equipment cost just comes down dramatically. Yeah. And with NDI being available as an SDK for anyone to use, there's literally hundreds of applications out there that support NDI.
So the connectivity on the transmission side, you've got your camera that connects into an NDI transmitter.
That's right, so this is one of our boxes. We actually have two products. This is our brand new one for the show called BirdDog Mini. And what this does is it takes your HDMI connection. We have the other product, Studio NDI, which will also take SDI. And we have an Ethernet connection here, which is power over Ethernet. And inside this box, it does all of the conversion from your video source into NDI in real time. And it's ultra low latency and full quality NDI. So the pictures come to whatever destination extremely quickly and also in really good quality.
On the receiving side, you don't need a matching
You
receiver.
don't, although you can, so I've got some more news with this. So typically where people are looking at using this is, for example, Newtek make TriCaster, which is a vision switcher. There's other vision switchers that also understand
like
NDI.
vMix as well.
Correct, yeah. So what typically people would do is mount this on your camera, and on the other end you'd receive it in your TriCaster, your vMix, your StreamStar, whichever product is your choice, and you'll get that video right into your session, and that's live, ready to go for a live production. In return with that, with NDI, you also get a whole bunch of extra facilities. So as soon as you take this camera source on your TriCaster or vMix and put that into preview or program, you get a tally light. So we have a tally light on the front here, so your camera operator and talent know which camera to look at. And that's with zero configuration. So as you were saying with SDI, there's a whole bunch of cables that you need to run and it's expensive. Yeah. But if you also wanted to run tally, if you also wanted to run return feed and things like this.
Intercom.
There's more and more things that you need to run more and more cables for. With NDI, that's all down a single cable. So it's a really convenient way to do things. Okay. Furthermore though, with NDI, we've been working pretty hard again over the last little while. On top of announcing Mini, we also have, for our current product, Studio NDI, enabled decode. So we can receive an NDI signal from a BirdDog or from another NDI source, and then turn that back out into HDMI or SDI again. So that then completes our vision of having IP as close to the glass as possible at both ends. So as close to the glass on your camera, and as close to the glass on your TV or where you're consuming it.
Or your projection system.
Projection system, absolutely. Yeah. And by doing that, you have the ultimate flexibility with IP, because then you can move things around wherever you like.
All right. Let's talk a bit about the Intercom capabilities that you're announcing.
Yeah, so one of our big announcements for the show is actually running on the screen behind us here. All of our BirdDog products have a Intercom connection or a headset connector. And we've just released this software, and essentially we've reimagined what a communication system could be, given that we now have access to everything with NDI. We've got video, we've got tally information. And so we're seeing a person that would be running a program, whether that's a producer, director, something like this, and we've given them what we think they would really like to have on one screen in one place. So if you look at the larger window that we have up here, that's a program output. That's what's going live to air. So they can sit in front of their computer and see what's going out to air. Underneath, you can see all of your video sources. So that's every single individual camera. And being a touchscreen interface, you can just touch on any of those cameras and talk directly to that camera operator. We can also do grouping as well. We're able to set up different party lines and have different groups, so individual sections of the production can talk to each other and maybe not disturb other parts. Yeah. And again, with NDI, we've also got the tally information. So on this same application, you can see which cameras are currently live on air and which cameras are being queued up. So if all of a sudden the camera that's being queued up is not quite focused or not in the right spot, you can just touch on that camera and say, hey, quickly fix that. So Gone are the days in a gallery of having multi-viewers and having a separate audio comm system. With this, we see, certainly for small to medium productions, you can have someone sitting in front of a computer, even potentially on Wi-Fi, and watching all of this and interacting in real time across the whole production.
The cost savings on this are phenomenal. I mean, I think on the intercom side, I know from personal experience, it's about $1,000 per belt pack and headset.
Yep.
And that adds up really fast.
It certainly does, yeah. So if you put that into perspective, our audio comms application, through till September, we're actually giving it away free of charge. And if you look at a belt pack, we actually give you a whole lot more than a belt pack here, and this is $5.95. So it really is a cost-effective solution for productions looking to do a whole lot of things on a budget, because all of these extra features, tally, comms, they all make for a much more professional production in the end.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, well, thank you very much. This has been a look at BirdDog at NAB 2018. I'm Shawn Lamb for Streaming Media Producer.